I really hope you're having an amazing day whenever you're watching this video. Now today's video is on another weekly Forex forecast for next week. The week begins on 21st or 22nd of November depending on where you are. And before we start this video, I want to mention that I have a Telegram channel where I post trade setups and occasionally post some signals. So feel free to join this Telegram channel. Maybe you'll be able to learn a thing or two. So without wasting any more time, let us start our weekly Forex forecast. We are going to begin with Euro Australian dollar. Now Euro Australian dollar, we are on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, let us just move a little bit higher on the time frame. Move to a 4 hour time frame. Now on the 4 hour time frame, you can see we had a very big bearish impulsive move here. Currently I'm considering this to be sort of like a correction happening here, and when you take our Fibonacci retracement tool, you can see that price has just rejected this 61.8 level here. Here's the 61.8. We've seen price come to that level, and we've seen price reject this level. Now let's look at some other market structures that have been respected on the lower time frame. When we move on to our 1 hour time frame, we can see now when we move on to our 1 hour time frame, we have a horizontal level here marked by this gray rectangle that I'm pointing at my mouse. Now we've seen price come to that level, and we've seen rejection off of that level, after which we saw price break above that level. I had called out this sell setup at this point here. However, it got invalidated because we saw price break above this level here. I did mention that it may be, or most likely was, a fake out, though we saw price hold a little bit above this level. Then as price was coming to retest this level to possibly make a new higher high, we saw price react to this level at first, then after which we saw price break back below this level. Now, considering that this may most likely be a bearish flag happening after the formation of the big 4 hour impulsive bearish move, I'm considering this to be a possible sell setup, especially because we have been able to break above this horizontal level and then break back below and rejected that level for quite some time. Now when we zoom in a little bit here, you'll realize that we saw price come to this level, form two rejections off of this level, and again price came back to this level. Now I had just a second, I had written a few things. Yeah. Now on the 1H, on the 1 hour time frame, I'm considering this to be a possible double top forming at this point here before we see a break a break or a push to the downside here. Now the only confluence that is not aligning to our sell setup currently is this support trend line here, which price has not yet broken past it. Though I just use I use trend lines just to add on to my confluences. I don't use trend lines to confirm my entries. It's just a way to add on to my confluences. So in this case, I do believe that this is already a sell setup that has already formed up. However, I was not able to take this this short position here because, of course, yeah, it formed just a few hours before market close, and you know how spreads sometimes widen, or we may see market gaps when market opens on Sunday or Monday. So I decided to wait it out. So if this setup will still be valid around 4 hours after market open, when everything has settled down, I may be looking to take a short position at this point here. So that's my analysis on Euro Aussie. That's what I'm considering. Yeah. So let's move on. Canadian Swiss franc. Canadian Swiss franc. When we start on the 4-hour time frame, we have key horizontal levels that price is respecting very well. One of them is this level here, marked by the gray rectangle and the black line. At this point here, we've seen price react to this level multiple times in the past, and recently we saw a break above that level. However, we did not see a reaction to this level here. So let's move to 1 hour. We saw a break. We never saw a retest off of this level, after which we formed this pattern here. We formed this pattern here, and this pattern usually shows, in this case, it usually shows a loss in bullish momentum. When we see formation of this pattern here, and we are not forming, or we are not having any impulsive moves, this is usually considered a loss in bullish momentum. So in this case, I would have been looking for a short position. However, I'm not used to trading this kind of setups, so it was really hard for me to tell when this pattern was over and when we were ready to short the market. So I opted to just stay out of that and focus on what I'm good at. Now, currently, okay, after this break, we never saw a retest off of this level. And again, after this break back below, we never saw reaction to this level here. We never saw a reaction. When I say a reaction, I mean I would have preferred to see something like price come to that level, bounce just a little bit, even if the level was not going to hold, at least have a bit of a reaction and then break back below, or maybe break below, retests just a bit, and then continue. That would have been a clear indication that this level is still holding. Now currently, or is still valid. Now currently, based off of these two actions that happened here, price breaking without reacting to this level, I'm not certain if this level is still valid. I'm not certain if this level is still valid. However, I will prefer to see price come to this level here, react, possibly form a double top or multiple rejections. If that happens, I will be ready to go short on this market, mainly because based on previous data here, we've seen that almost each and every time price has come to this level, we've seen a very impulsive bearish reaction to that level. We saw one here, we saw another one here, we saw price rejecting this level here very heavily. Again, we saw another, we saw price again react to this level almost immediately. Here, price just left a weak rejection. So it seems here we'll most likely be having a lot of sell positions ready to be opened at around this area here. So that's what I would prefer to see. And again, on the 4H time frame, if price is not able to push back to this level here, a break and retest off of this level will also be a valid setup. So if price is not able to come back to this level and we see a continuation of this bearish momentum here, I'll be looking for a break and retest off of this level. Now this break and retest, I will prefer to be a huge break and retest. I will prefer to be a huge break and retest. When I say a huge break and retest, I mean I like to see price, I would like to see price wipe out this low here. I prefer not working with small break and retest because most likely you usually find them to be fake outs. So I usually prefer price rallying down, making it clear that we have broken this level clearly, and then a retest, after which I usually look for possibly double tops or multiple rejections, and then I get a confirmation, probably by a bearish momentum candle in this case, and then I go short from that. So these are the two setups that I'm watching on Canadian dollar Swiss franc. I believe they are clear. So let's move on. Now GBP Japanese yen, we are in a bearish move currently. We are on a 4 time frame. We are currently in a bearish move. We do have a resistance trend line here that price seems to be respecting a lot. And recently we saw a very big impulsive move happen, and I'm currently watching this correction happening here. Now before we move on to our 1 hour time frame, here we did have a setup. Just a minute. At this point here, we did have a sell setup here, of course, because of the break and retest of this level, and also it was in line with our resistance trend line here. However, I was not able to get in on this trade because I was not convinced enough that this setup will work, especially because price, after breaking this level here, we saw it take its sweet time here. Took a lot of time before we were able to have a retest. So during this time, it was possible that price may have changed its direction of bias, considering on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we still have this bullish impulsive move here that has not yet been cleared out. Once price is able to reach this low, I will consider this this bullish move here unnecessary to keep watch of it. I mean, once we wipe out this whole move here, I will consider maybe that we may not be continuing with our bullish trend, overall bullish trend, because when you zoom out, you'll see this market is just pushing to the upside. Though, because I'm an intraday trader, I usually follow the most recent trend that is happening, and in this case, it is this bearish trend here happening. So I'm still bearish until we hit this level here. Okay, now at this point we did have two rejections happening here, though I opted to start off the market because it was not worth the risk to me. And again, the risk reward ratio is not that good because my stop loss was roughly around close to 70 pips. If I had taken the trade off of this second rejection here, my stop loss would have been around 70 pips. And then, of course, there is a level here, which I was not certain if price was going to break. So this was not a very conducive trade for me. But currently, we've had this bearish impulsive move. We are currently having some sort of a correction happening here. and I'll be looking to see if price will come back to this level here and reject, form a bearish momentum candle as my confirmation, and then I'll be looking to go short from that. So GJ, I'll be watching it as it approaches around 153.8, around that area. Then I'll be looking for possible short positions. So that's GJ. Let's move on. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, when you start on the 4-hour time frame, let's just move to our daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I wouldn't consider this to be a major trend line, though it seems to work. Price has reacted to this trend line 3 times in a row, and currently we are having bearish impulsive moves. So in this case, I'm looking to go short in this market. We move on to a 4-hour time frame. We have levels that price has been respecting. We have a horizontal support here. We have a horizontal resistance here. These are the two horizontal levels that at least they are close to our current price. So currently price is at the horizontal support. There are two setups that I'm watching, there are two setups that I'm watching. The first one here, though it may not happen, I was watching it sometime last week. I was waiting to see if price will come back to this level here, form multiple rejections, and then I will consider to go short on this market here at this point. However, we saw price turn around before hitting this level here, and we are currently back at our support. Now with this in mind, I'll be looking for a possible break and retest off of this level here. This level has had 2 previous touches. We are currently on the 3rd touch. If price is able to break, I'll be looking for a retest, and again when it breaks, I would like a clear break, not a break with a weak rejection. I would like price to break, have or move a little bit, have a few candles open and close below this horizontal level here, then come back, retest, reject for some time, form a confirmation, and then I'll be looking to go short from that. So those are the 2 setups that I'm watching on AUD Canadian dollar. And moving on, NZD US dollar. NZD US dollar, when you start on the daily time frame, the market is a bit choppy. We don't have a clear direction currently on where the market is headed. However, being an intraday trader, I'm seeing formation of lower highs and lower lows, and I'm also seeing bearish impulsive moves. So in this case, I'm bearish on this market, so I'll be looking for possible short positions only. So in this case, price is really close to this major support here. Price is really close to this major support here, and I'll be waiting to see how price reacts to that level. Now previously I was waiting to see if price was going to make another touch at this point. However, we were not able to see that. Also at this point, I was looking to get in a short position. I had called out this trade. However, I had called it out, I believe, I believe I'd called it out last week, not this week that has just ended. So here at this point, I was looking for some sort of a double top or multiple rejections at this point. However, price moved quite fast. We were not able to see multiple rejections. So price just touched. We did not see a bearish pin bar. We never saw bearish engulfing. It just touched that level and immediately moved to our target here. So I was not able to catch this trade here. However, we just move on regardless. So currently we are at this point here. We're at this point. So this setup here, if price will manage to move back to this highs here, to this level here, then this first setup will be valid. I'll be looking for multiple rejections and then going short. However, the most likely to happen in this case here is a break and retest off of this level here. So that's what I'll be watching out for, a break and retest off of this level, and then I'll be looking to go short after getting a confirmation. So that's it for NZD dollar, and that's it for this week's or next week's Forex forecast. I really hope you learned something from the video, and I hope it will be of benefit to your trading as we begin this coming week. Now, my prayer is that you have a profitable week and that you enjoy your week to the fullest. With that being said and done, let's meet again next weekend. Goodbye.